Azerbaijan, a land of legends and mysteries. A land with ancient history and culture, unique nature, traditions and customs. Like a mighty mountain eagle, Azerbaijan is soaring, directing its watchful glance from west to east. Under its powerful wings, history and geography meet to combine the cultures of Europe and Asia. For centuries, as a hospitable and generous host, Azerbaijan has been accepting guests from all corners of the globe. Striking and admirable, with its wealth and originality, the land of fire forever remains in the hearts of all who have come to this blessed land. The nature of Azerbaijan is surprising and beautiful. The finest landscapes, waterfalls and the mountain rivers, springs with pristine water, deep gorges, green meadows, thermal and mineral sources, the purest mountain air, and the largest lake on earth, which is majestically referred to as a sea, the Caspian Sea. 9 of 11 existing climatic zones are present in Azerbaijan's total area of 86,600 square kilometers. Azerbaijan has become home to more than 9 million people with different religions and faiths. It's one of the first countries that has so acceptingly and democratically supported multiculturalism. For a long time, its territory served as a sacred place for various pilgrims from Asia and Europe. In extreme antiquity, people here worshipped the sacred fire that rose from the depths of this land of fire. The news about it spread worldwide and created a mystical curiosity. Zoroastrian traditions are embodied in Novruz, a spring festival with a centuries-old tradition. It's a holiday of unification, awakening and updating, and to this day, the holiday gathers all of the residents of Azerbaijan irrespective of origin and religion. Novruz has been included on UNESCO's representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity for contributing to cultural diversity and friendship among peoples and various communities. Like a colorful bright ribbon, Azerbaijan is belted with the Great Silk Road. It stands on the crossroads of tradeways of Asia and Europe like a daring noble merchant. Since ancient times, this region has been the center of cultural and economic life. The uncountable caravans passing on the Silk Road brought exotic goods with them and became acquainted with the spiritual wealth of different nations. Precious secrets of various crafts, passed down from generation to generation, form the basis of industry and have served its further development. Like a fabulous oriental carpet with amazing patterns, the life of this land has been woven from the sonorous voice of traders, summoning buyers, from the aroma of spices and the smell of homemade bread, from the juicy foods and the bright sun of this generous country. At the end of the 19th century, Baku turned into a world's industrial and cultural center. The first oil boom forever changed the image of an old citadel. And at the beginning of the 20th century, the Azerbaijani oil provided over half of the world's need for this black gold. The first ever oil tanker, Zoroaster, had become one of the technical achievements of a roughly developing city. Local oil magnates played an important role in the transformation of the cultural image of Baku. In the city, along with mosques and minarets, there was the first European theater, the first secular school for Muslim girls, and the first opera in Muslim world. The great feat of the Baku oil industry workers in the years during the Second World War is another legendary page of Azerbaijan. Baku completely provided the front line with oil. More than 90% of the fuel necessary for operating planes, tanks and cars was developed at the Baku oil refineries from the oil extracted on Baku crafts. The important milestone in the history of the oil and gas industry of the country in the post-war years was opening huge hydrocarbonic resources on the bottom of the Caspian Sea, commissioning the first ever offshore drilling rig. Thanks to the huge contribution of the Azerbaijani scientists and the introduction of the production of the advanced technologies of that time, Azerbaijan opened up new horizons in forming the power corridor between the East and the West. After the overthrow of the monarchy of the Russian Empire, Azerbaijan Democratic Republic was declared an independent state on May 28, 1918. It was the first secular democratic state in the Islamic world and also the first Muslim country where women were elected to parliament. However, on April 28, 1920, the 11th Red Army entered Baku and the country became part of the USSR. With the fall of the USSR in 1991, Azerbaijan declared independence for the second time after more than 70 years under Soviet rule. The early years of independence were extremely difficult, with the country facing military aggression and territorial occupation. National leader Haydar Aliyev then led the country out of its political and economic crises and laid the foundation for modern Azerbaijani statehood. The contract of the century, signed in 1994 with the giants of the oil and gas industry, attracted a huge volume of foreign direct investment, boosting the country's economic and social development. In the last decade, the country's economy demonstrated remarkable growth, which allowed it to complete its transition to a market economy and elevated it from a low-income to an upper-middle-income country. The carefully thought-out economic strategy for the development of the prospering state, as well as the strengthening of the country's position in the international arena, has resulted in thousands of projects. Large-scale infrastructural projects initiated and constructed in Azerbaijan, reminiscent of the Great Silk Road in ancient times, connect Asia and Europe with transport and energy flows. The launch of the first national space satellite, Azerspace-1, in 2013 was a great scientific achievement. To date, Azerbaijan's economy generates almost 80% of the GDP of the entire South Caucasus. Diversification of the economy is the main priority. The construction of modern infrastructure complexes and developments in the field of clean alternative energy are part of the large-scale policy of the state as it looks to the future. For a long time, the agriculture of Azerbaijan has been famous for its exported products. The country reached great heights as an organizer of various international sport and cultural projects. In almost 1 month, 12th to 28th June, the whole world will watch the opening of the first European Games in Baku. The policies and reforms implemented in the country are advancing human and sustainable development for current and future generations. The strength of the Azerbaijani character has managed to enrich the country itself and to open up new horizons in the world economy. Azerbaijan is shaped like an eagle, a bird that symbolizes victory and greatness. The spread of its wings symbolizes the unity of the West and East.